There we go. How's that? Yeah, there we go. I was just saying then that I don't think I had, that my headphones weren't working. Clearly my microphone wasn't working either. Right, how's that? Yeah, they're working now? Let me have a look. Yes, there we go. Better, right. How's everyone doing? Who's in? Late and mute. Bootnecks are not renowned for their technological advancements, right? We're strong of arm and thick of head. That's what we are. 5x5. Jesus, you guys sound like the security guards in a bad film. You know, security guards who watch too many films and talk like they think they're in the fucking Navy SEALs. 5x5. Who's in anyway? Davey Boy the Codhead's in. Makes you wonder how we get it. Well, I don't fucking know why you come early. Clearly you need a hobby, Davey. Professor Andy's in as well. Ralphie Cray, Vivian Needle, Ragnar Ironspear's in. Our Rodney, Jeff, Samuel, Terry Wuckford, Catherine Harold, Feet Ball, Big Fat Nick, Light Sky, Sia Kronos, who else? Fucking loads of yous. Daz Ellis, Rob Centre, Balls to All, Mark Thompson, Matt McCoy, Northern Monkey, Joel, upstanding member. That's a good name. I remember what having one of them was like when I was young and healthy. Patriotic Britain, Danny Ashton, Trevor, Samuel L. Saxon, Ginger Mongoose, Jeff Wedden. Right. There's a few good stories to pick from today. I found 4 with relatively little effort. Also, I just noticed how fucking scruffy my hair is. I wash my hair. I only do once a week now because I'm a man. I wash my hair once a week, and I did it today. And now my hair looks like fucking brown smoke. There's a few good ones today. I'm not the type of person that really gets involved with any of the anti-Semitic sort of stuff. But I think this warrants a mention because it's been going on for long enough where it's constantly in the media now. And I don't understand why it's as controversial as it is if, as usual, there isn't something to be said for the conspiracy theorists in the world. Because to me, it seems almost promoted to hate certain groups of people. And I think that's self-evidently obvious, right? People like Ash Sarkar have made a career out of hating certain groups. Diane Abbott as well. When these ethnic politicians come out and say things like, "Oh, it's the game they play. This is the game white people play, divide and rule," and all that shit. I mean, you remember when they were saying stuff like that? It seems almost encouraged to hate white people. When people like David Lammy and Diane Abbott make genuinely hateful comments about the ethnic British people, it's encouraged, isn't it? And if you try and say, hang on, this is a bit dodgy saying this, they go, no, it's her truth. And you can't understand what it's like being her because you aren't a brown woman. So they'll make any excuses they can for those people. So again, it's made me start thinking, maybe the conspiracy theorists are right on some degree, in that I don't think, as I keep saying, I don't think the left-right paradigm exists anymore. And I certainly don't agree with rampant anti-Semites who say everything is a Jewish conspiracy. I don't think that's the case. I think it's in line with what I keep telling you about the left and right paradigm. And I simply call them the globalists. They're not all Jewish people. I don't know where that comes from, but I don't think people like Kyrie Irving or Kanye West or anybody else that falls into it should be lambasted as a detestable, hateful person, because all they're seeing is one narrow aperture of what is clearly a cabal of powerful people running the world, regardless of what you have to say about it. And what my point is is that obviously these massive I nearly said multinational, but the globalist corporations, aren't they? Or globalist NGOs. These massive organisations like the WHO or the United Nations, NATO, and enormous corporations, Google, Twitter, Facebook. It isn't Jewish. It's rich, powerful, globalist elites. But you can't, just because Kyrie Irving and Kanye West see through a narrow aperture of that and erroneously make the conclusion that it's all of the Jewish people, doesn't mean that they're genuinely hateful, does it? And I don't understand why people can't just read what they're actually saying or listen to what they're actually saying, because Kanye West and Kyrie Irving haven't said anything genuinely hateful. They haven't said, those fucking 4B2s are running everything, let's round them all up. They've said nothing of the sort. They've just erroneously made the link between elite globalist cabal being all of them happening to be Jewish people, and they aren't. It just irritates me that everything has to be a soundbite nowadays. Like, are the normies completely incapable of reading anything more complicated than the back of a shampoo bottle? Like, why does everything descend into fucking trite name calling? Do you know what I mean? We are capable of complex thought. And it baffles me that for some reason, well, again, I suppose it's not that baffling. It's obviously on purpose, isn't it? Because when Ash Sarkar or Diane Abbott says blatantly racist, trite sound bites, they put a lot of effort in to understand how they've arrived at that conclusion. They say, no, but we have to understand where they're coming from. No, there's nuance here. We have to try, and you can't understand what their mindset is like because you aren't one of them. We have to try and understand them. But when someone says something that's genuinely nuanced, like Kyrie Irving, they make no attempt to understand them. They don't say, well, how did Kyrie Irving arrive at this place? Where's he coming from? Who's he speaking to? They just instantly go, he's hateful and we should fucking cancel him. Again, he did say that, didn't he? He did, but only if you reduce it to a trite soundbite, because he said he likes him in some ways of his personality. He did things that he was quite admirable of. And you can say that, can't you? You could say, like, he was extremely good orator, right? Or he was good at mobilizing the people of Germany. Just because someone's a genocidal madman and he killed a shitload of people doesn't mean they can't have qualities that somebody could say were quite admirable. In a sane world where you can actually be nuanced and have depth, more depth than a fucking puddle of piss. I mean, here's a good example, right? I'll distill it down to a simplistic level. Lots of women, I was talking about this with my missus the other day, lots of women seem to have a hard-on, a wide-on for serial killers. When people like Ted Bundy and Jeffrey Dahmer and fucking, it's like seriously fucked up people go to prison, they all get loads of like love letters. Have you seen that? Do you know how many love letters Ted Bundy used to get? You get like serial killers end up on death row and they get bombarded with marriage proposals and love letters from all these fucking women. Why would that be? I mean, that is a really simplistic way of demonstrating what I'm talking about the ability of the human mind to process nuance. See, there's a lady speaking, doesn't get it, but I do. Maybe I'm in touch with my feminine side. I could be maybe I'm trans. I don't know. I sort of get it, right? Because what I'm saying to you is, there's elements of the male psyche that speak to women, isn't there? And everybody knows it. We were talking yesterday about stereotypical masculine personalities, tendencies, right? There's things that reach out to women that are undeniable. for example, height, right? It's undeniable that a bloke who's 6 foot tall is way more popular with women than a bloke who's 5 foot tall. It's only a foot, but if you're a fucking dwarf, you struggle to get your end away because we're an evolved chimp and we place a lot of presence, a lot of import in physicality. And there's numerous elements to serial killers that, on the face of it, if you don't really think about it too much, because I understand where Nick Yak's coming from. I understand that a lot of these women are going to be damaged because they're not thinking of the big picture. But if you look at it through a narrow aperture and just focus on the positives, you can see why some women would like Ted Bundy, because he's tall and he's not unattractive and he's got a nice strong chin and he's undeniably intelligent and confident, which is how he gets away with being a fucking serial killer for as long as he was, right? If he had the IQ of a pork pie, he'd have got caught after the first fucker, right? And it's the same with Jeffrey Dahmer. He was quite good looking, wasn't he? He was in good shape, which is weird because he must have been into lifting or something, because he was pretty fit, but he was a pisshead, which I don't really understand. I wish I could be buff and be a pisshead. I only have to look at a pint of beer now and I get tits. It sort of sucks getting old in that respect. But there's numerous elements of toxic, negative, I don't like the word toxic, dangerous men that are appealing to women. The physicality, the strong chin, the intelligence, the confidence. So, with that being said, if this works on a micro level, i.e. individual women falling in love with a fucking serial killer, why can't we understand on a macro level? Why can't we apply nuance and understanding to someone like Kyrie Irving? I don't understand it, and this is what I'm saying about it. Sort of makes you think maybe the conspiracy theorists are onto something, because it really does seem to me that there is just a group that you're not allowed to criticise, and I don't know why. I'm a free speech absolutist, and I don't think hate speech should be a thing except for the direct call to violence. I don't think it should be a thing because I'm an ENTP debater type personality, and I think every single idea, regardless of how controversial it might be, should be up for debate, because I'm confident that I'll always win the debate. If a politician wants to go on television and say, let me think of a good policy that'd appeal to, how about this one? Just come up with this one on a whim, right? Let's say one of these balmy globalist politicians, someone like Justin Trudeau, because he's fucking balmy, right? Justin Trudeau is one of these postmodernist, commie academic types who doesn't have any respect for history or what's gone before in political circles. He doesn't have any respect for the past. He doesn't think you can learn anything from the past. He's one of these postmodernist academic types who thinks the future is unwritten, the past is worthless. That's why they all agree that you can identify as anything, you can be anything, you can be a furry, you can say you're a trans human squirrel, you can say whatever you want. If Justin Trudeau come out and said, right, I think, I picked on him specifically because of all this stuff with assisted dying. It's really, really fucked up. I could talk about that for a bit as well, because I've always been pro-euthanasia. But again, I was thinking like people that are dying of terminal cancer. Over there, they've just gone, fuck it. Do you want to top yourself? Just walk around the streets, going up to homeless blocks. You want to top yourself, mate? Fancy topping yourself? Teenager? Oh, you haven't had a bit of a shit week, have you? Fancy topping yourself? I mean, I have no idea what's going on. So I picked him. He's a good one. If Trudeau said, right, we need to have less agriculture, we need to have less flatulent cows, and we need to get rid of bodies in a sensible way. So I think we should have cannibalism. right? I think when someone gets owled or someone volunteers for it, we should just get the relatives to fucking eat them, right? You get owled and your kids should just put you in a kebab, which, to be fair, you know, have you seen what goes in a doner kebab? I think I'd rather eat my granddad's ball sack than a fucking doner kebab. My old man said he did a job once on a factory, sheeting the roof of a factory in like Bradford where they kept them all kebabs. He said he never ate one ever again because you don't even know what's gone in them. So yeah, I'd rather eat my grandpa's knackersack than a doner kebab from a kebab shop on Linthorpe Road. But essentially, if he was to suggest that was a good idea, right, and we should just eat people, I don't think that that's something that you just should all just say, right, you're not allowed to talk about it. Do you know what I mean? If he was to put forward the idea that we should be eating people, I want it to get fucking discussed. The fuck's that noise? Oh, there's a fucking builder outside. At least it's not a Mexican with a leaf blower. Fucking leaf blowers. Right, so what I'm getting at is, to me, there's nothing that shouldn't be debated and discussed. Nothing. So, seriously, if Kyrie Irving comes out and says, I think there's an elite cabal of secretive 4B2s who are running the world from the shadows, I don't understand why we have to go, right, he's fucking evil, cancel him. Why can't we discuss it? Why couldn't we, like, get him on around the table at question time and have people say to him, explain your theory? Do you know what I mean? And I don't see why it's hateful. Like, what's wrong with saying, listen to what the bloke's saying? Because as I understood it, when they originally passed all these laws about hate speech, the fucking bar was very, very high. It was literally the only thing you weren't allowed to say was, see those blokes over there, let's go and fucking kill them all. I understand and agree with that shouldn't be allowed, but everything else should be. And none of them ever say, I want to round up and murder tens of thousands of 4B2s. They don't say that. The Kanye didn't say it. Alex Jones didn't say it. Kyrie Irving didn't say it. They say shit that's a bit stupid. And if they had a long discussion about it with anybody who's not a fucking plank, you could easily show it up as being stupid and people would go, oh, fair enough, let's move on. And Kyrie Irving might get something out of it. He might have a long chat with someone and then go, yeah, it's not that, is it? It's these unelected globalist cabal and fucking elites from a wide swath of society rather than just one particular ethnic group. So I don't get it. And no, he didn't. He didn't say it. That's what I'm saying. He didn't say hated anyone. Shall we, for a laugh, find out? Fuck me, what's that sound? Serious, I don't know what's going on today. It sounds like they've got rid of the leaf blowers and switched them out for fucking pneumatic drills. Maybe my neighbour's getting one of those. Did anybody see the footage of that fucking... I don't know what the door was made out of, but it was the best drug dealer doorway I've ever seen. It was like a clip on Twitter of about like 10 coppers trying to batter through someone's front door with a battering ram, and it was fucking invincible. The door was the door was like Wolverine's shin bones. It just wouldn't move. So that was impressive. But I just don't get it. I don't get why it's a big deal. I'll read you what he said anyway, because I've just ranted for 20 minutes and haven't even talked about it. Nike's ended its sponsorship deal with Kyrie Irving 1 month after he promoted a documentary which contained anti-Semitic material on social media. Why isn't he allowed to do that? Did the documentary say, kill them all, right? If it did, then, yeah, suspend this one. But I suspect it didn't. The sportswear giant suspended its contract and he apologised. Kyrie stepped over the line. It's kind of that simple. Yeah, i.e., there's a certain group of people that you're not allowed to criticise, and if you do, you get fucked. You get bent over a wheelie bin and rogered senseless. He met NBA Commissioner Adam Silver and Jewish community leaders and pledged to donate $1 million to combat hate and intolerance. So pledged to donate $1 million to combat hate and intolerance. Doesn't sound like these people are obsessed with mass murder to me. Oh, God, I really hate Frankie Boyle. What's he doing on there? And Catherine Ryan. How do these women... There's another good example of the fucking apparently privileged men. Female comedians that are about as funny as a boot in the bollocks can somehow get their own shows on television. Have you ever watched Catherine Ryan? Michael Ryan was funnier than her. And if you don't remember who Michael Ryan was, he was a lunatic who went on a fucking gun rampage in the Isle of Wight when I was on holiday in the Isle of Wight as a kid. Hence, I remember the name, because that was a strange segue, wasn't it? Catherine Ryan and Michael Ryan. She's not funny. And now there's fucking Frankie Boyle. He used to be, and then he got walked, didn't he? But anyway, yeah, so that was just something I wanted to talk about. I think Kanye West and Kyrie Irving and everybody else is a storm in a teacup. And I don't think it's hateful to have them say their opinions. I don't get it. They didn't say kill anyone. They didn't say round anybody up. They just said, this is dodgy. These massive corporations and conglomerates set the piss. I don't think it's fair. So what's the crack? Bit weird. I'm just saying, bit weird how it seems like you're not allowed to criticise certain groups of people. Anyway, we'll talk about something else because this one made me laugh, right? Yet again, more fucking up is down, left is right shite off the BBC, right? I happen to know, just through my own knowledge from living in the United States for a while, Sonic the Bootneck. Yeah, I washed my hair today. It goes a bit fuzzy when I wash it. Fuzzy Zola. Indians in America, because it's a great country and it's a egalitarian society, and up until very recently it was a meritocracy. Indian women in the United States of America make more money than white men. You heard that right. You might have been told by the BBC, by Silicon Valley, that privileged white men make all the money in America. It's not true. If you take the numbers on a per capita basis, you scoop up not just everyone in the country, because obviously the figures get distorted by the likes of Jack Doorstop and Elon Musk and Mark Zucker twat and all of these people. But if you take them on an individual level, the pay scales in the United States goes like this: Asian men, Asian women, white men. Asian women make more money than white men. It's an irrefutable fact. In the old days, maths was irrefutable. Hard numbers, hard data was irrefutable. It's only in the post-truth era, this commie fucking degeneracy that we're living through, that maths is irrelevant. Right? Hard numbers mean nothing to these people because they're insane ideologues and they only care about their insane political dogma. But Indian women make more money than white men. And yet, the left-wing woke mainstream media is still promoting these type of stories whereby they're making out as if the poor old Indians are some sort of embattled minority. And it says, Meta, Amazon, Twitter layoffs, tech layoffs won't destroy American dreams of Indians. Poor bastards. Look at this. Surrey Digupta there, look at her. You can see by the house. You can see by that photo. You can see by what she's wearing and the big wide staircase with a big sturdy banister and the nice framed pictures that she is an unsufferably middle-class arsehole. You couldn't pose for a picture like that in my house in Millsborough because we didn't have a wide staircase with a fucking big broad banister and nice fucking pictures on the back walls. We had a little thin, narrow staircase that made funny noises when you walked up and down it. And we slept on piss-soaked floorboards. There wasn't anywhere in the house you could pose for a photograph like that. Do you know what I mean? Any working-class person knows this. You can see by that one picture that she's posh. Because that's a posh person's house. Definitely. That's a middle-class arsehole posing for a fucking picture before they go to the prom where they get picked up by a twat in a tuxedo. That is a posh bird, right? And it says many Indians who work on temporary visas are facing an uncertain future after mass layoffs at big tech firms. Surabhi Gupta, who lost her job at Meta, tells her story in her own words. Yeah, where's she living now? Is she in a slum in fucking Mumbai? Is she? Although no, Bombay. After Peter Hitchens told me you don't use their shit terms. It's Bombay, innit? Is she back in Bombay? Is she living in a fucking sink in Bombay? I suspect she isn't. I suspect she's a woke middle-class arsehole getting a platform to tell her bollock stories because the BBC is a fucking sink of commie activists. That's why. Anyway, let's read it out of morbid curiosity. It was my mum's birthday. I was staying up late to wish her, and that's when I started getting messages. I think they need to hire a fucking proofreader at the BBC, don't they? It was my mum's birthday. I was staying up late to wish her, and that's when I started getting messages. All right, they can't write at the BBC. Fair enough. They were all anxious. Around 6 a.m. here, I received an email that I'd been let go. I had joined Meta as a product manager. See, product manager. She wasn't the fucking cleaner, was she? You knew that straight away. If she was a Mexican lass, she'd have been the fucking, I joined Meta as the cleaner. I was the janitor. It was me who wiped the bogs down at the end of a shift. You knew she'd be a manager. My team was shocked because I'd been performing really well, according to you. It went against my motto. Initially, it felt like the Titanic sinking because I was losing access to things one by one. Workplace, then email, then laptop. It's exactly how I knew it would be. Woke middle-class arsehole, privileged, spoiled fucking girl. It felt like the Titanic sinking because I was losing access to workplace, then email, then laptop. Imagine that you're on the Titanic. 40-foot hole in the side of the boat, yeah? 200 peasants have just been sucked into the ocean and lost to the icy depths. And you're like, fuck, I hope I don't lose my laptop. What are you talking about? That's the shittest analogy I've ever heard. It felt like the Titanic sinking. Because I lost my legs, maybe. Not because I lost my workplace, then my email, then my laptop. Fucking hell. I was pleasantly surprised in a positive way by my network on LinkedIn. They all reached out in a very supportive way, making introductions and referrals. It made me feel like I belong to this country. Do you? Yeah. Until you start saying you hate the country and it's fucking evil, and then set the flag on fire and then tell everybody it's a racist, cis-het patriarchy and the founding fathers were all tyrants and you should dig up George Washington and throw his fucking bones underneath a steamroller, you fucking slut. My last day at Meta is in January, and my H-1B visa allows me to stay in the US for another 60 days, so March is the deadline for me to find another job. Job search is going to be... I'll stop you there. You've just been gobbing off about how on LinkedIn everyone was sucking you off because you're a privileged Indian woman. So I guarantee she'll get a fucking job before March, and she'll be here in April. Easy, innit? She's... These stories are always just trifling, dull, carbon copies of privileged, woke, middle-class arseholes desperately trying to claim that they're the victims. There's poor people out there who are genuinely struggling. Poor people out there who've never been anywhere near a fucking picture like that and they aren't working as product managers at some of the richest companies in the world. And you've all seen the videos I've done of these privileged fucking sluts working, I use the term very, very loosely, working in places like Silicon Valley for Meta. They don't do any work. They don't do any work. All they want is to be able to be staggeringly privileged, but simultaneously claim to be oppressed because it gives them a wide on. They love it. They're not happy with only being at the top of the tree. They also want to be at the top of the tree, but claim to be worse off than the white guy who's homeless, or the disabled one-legged veteran alcoholic who lives in a bus shelter, or the poor white trash motherfucker who lives in a trailer park. These lazy, useless fucking slut buckets want to get massive paychecks for doing almost no work and then still claim that they're oppressed. How many examples have you seen? Laurie Penny is another class one. I fucking hate Laurie Penny. These ridiculously privileged, rich, upper crust, spoiled, soft-skinned, heavily moisturized, manicure and pedicure fucking bitches who do nothing useful for the world. But not only are they elite and rich and privileged and pampered and don't do any work, they want to take your place on the bottom rung. They want to make out as if they've got it harder than anybody else. It's laughable. I mean, the most famous example of it is me again, Mardy ass, because Meghan Markle's doing it, isn't she? Meghan Markle literally got married in £1 million dress. £1 million dress, right? Covered in diamonds and jewels and rubies. It's like a bad comedy. It's like a bad satire. She literally got married in £1 million dress covered in diamonds and rubies and tiaras and fucking whatever else. It's like something out of a period drama. She married a prince. She was an actress, a model, who married a prince and was covered in diamonds and rubies. But now she's the oppressed one, and you, Mr. Trailer Park, you're the privileged one. That's all this fucking shit is. It's all the same, and it's always the same story. It doesn't matter whether you're talking about Meghan Markle or Laurie Penny or fucking Afua Hirsch. Here's another one. Oh, I've had it so hard. Oh, you're a stuck-up twit. Afua Hirsch wanted to be an it girl. She's a millionaire it girl. Tall, well-nourished, moisturised, pampered, pretty, rich, highly educated, top universities. They just have privilege. And then they just want to go, you know what? Trashy white man in a trailer. My life's shitter than yours. At least if they were just rich, I wouldn't care. But it annoys me that they're rich, but they want to tell me that I'm more spoiled than they are. It fucking annoys me. I have got a heart. I hate her. I told you why I hate Meghan Markle so much. I'm like a jilted lover with Meghan Markle. I despise the woman because when she very first met him, way back in the day, I was one of those fucking people who went, oh, well, that'll be quite good. You know, some new blood, foreigner, might help her get a closer tie with the Americans. Nice to see a young lass from outside of the family. All them inbred fuckers need some new blood in there anyway. You know, it was good when Kate came on the scene. Can't have all those royals bumming the sisters forever. So I thought, brilliant, huh? And like the entire general public, I was pro Meghan Markle. So, oh, this is great news. And then she got married. Everybody went to the wedding. And everyone was like, oh, this is brilliant. And then she waited 6 months, started being a fucking cunt, and went, oh, yeah, yous are all racist, you cunt. And when everyone had been sucking her off for like 2 years, the whole time it was like uniform praise from everyone. And then She enacted the nefarious scheme to make her like she's never had it so hard. Woe is me, everything's so fucking tough. And all of a sudden, she's the fucking underprivileged fucking yo-yo knitted slut bucket. And we're all the spoiled twats. When she got fucking married, covered in diamonds, the cunt. I mean, you couldn't make it up, could you? You couldn't make it up. And that's all this fucking stuff. In fact, I'm wound up again now. I'm not fucking finishing the rest of it. I'm not reading it. Look at them. Miss Gupta was crowned. God, see what I'm talking, right? I hadn't even read this story before I started talking to you. Look, I'd only got down to there. And then I went on a tangent saying it was exactly the same fucking thing as it always is. And look, middle-class arsehole was crowned Miss Bharat California by her idol, Shushmita Sen. So she's a middle-class arsehole who's always getting pampered and privileged, and then she was crowned Miss Bharat California and met her idol. I haven't met my fucking idol. Oh, no, I have. I did. I saw Chubby Brown once when I was at school. We used to see him at the shop, and he wrote to Matt, fuck off, Chubby, on my homework diary. So I got to meet my idol as well. But I already felt privileged when I got told to fuck off by Chubby Brown. She was crowned. She literally got crowned by her idol. So look, this story proved me right. Right? So we're done. We're done here. I don't need to read anymore. I didn't know she got crowned by her idol at the bottom. I was just going off the fact that they're all the fucking same. They're all the same. So you couldn't make that up. You couldn't make it up. Rich, privileged, spoiled, doesn't work for a living, never done a hard day's work in her life, fucking whinging. Oh, I've got it so hard. Get yourself to the coke ovens at fucking Redcar and carry some steel up onto the roofs in the rain, covered in coal dust. You fucking lazy bint. Do some work. Do some work. And don't come on here and tell me that you've never had it so hard. Woe is me. Fucking hell. Hey, I tell you, like all the plumbers in Britain are underneath the sinks covered in shit going, fucking hell, I'm glad I'm not Suribi fucking Gupta, the fucking slut. Christ almighty. These people make me fucking puke. They make me absolutely puke. I hate them. Suribi, fucking jog on. She does, yeah, and cowhead. Suribi, go and get me 3 kilos of tatties in your cap, you fucking manhead. Got a head like a recycling bin. Fuck off, get a proper job. Make her carry some bricks, the cunt. Oh, yeah, Jeff, you're right, yeah, I did read that they blew it up. They blew the coke ovens up. So, yeah, I know, I'm aware. And the bulldozed dormant long about 2 weeks after I went past it on the train. I did get a photo of it, though. Anyway, so Suribi, cowhead. Go and get me a few kilos of tatties in your hat. Right, I'm going to call it there, ladies and gents. I've got shit to do. I've got to do my laundry. It's Tuesday. Chubbs was class. Yeah, big fan. Absolutely class, Chubby. He's my idol. That's why I swear as much as I do. A childhood spent listening to Chubby Brown tapes on my dad's ghetto blaster when I was about 8. Right. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you, fuck knows when. When I can be asked. I'll try and do some pre-recorded content this week as well. All right. Have a good week. Keep smiling. You've got to laugh, haven't you? You've got to laugh. Right. See you in a bit, ladies and gents. Toodle pip. All the best.